I thought maybe as he started preaching tonight, he was talking how that you say you'd like to have an experience like somebody else.
Come on, man.
Thought I was younger and things, and here Joe Burns preaching the old Kaywood Church, Brother Jerry, one night. He's talking about experience he had with the Lord. I said, Lord, I've never had an experience like that. I'd like to have one.
Come on, Lee.
I didn't know what I was asking for. Didn't know what I was asking for, Brother Jerry. And I tell you what, the Lord will get you to a place that you'll be ready for it when it comes, if you really want to experience it. He began to teach me, Brother Doc, what He wanted me to do, and I you know how it is. You go on a journey, the Lord teach you how long to go and things.
Come on, Lee.
I thought maybe I'd started and somebody passed away and they'd called me, want me to come sing at a funeral. I told the Lord that morning, I got up and I said, Lord, I can't go and sing in this shape. You know, dried out, trying to sing at a funeral.
Yeah.
I said, Lord, ain't no way I can go in this shape. And I said, I'm going to eat. He said, not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Not yet. And I said, all right, Lord. So I went on.
Yeah.
And the funeral went on, everything went. Got out in the foyer. Probably people's here this, but let me tell you, my first real experience with God. Years ago, Lexi's about 16 now, but probably when she was about 4 or 5 years old. We was down there hiding at that funeral home. And she had seen some candy laying in a dish there in the funeral home. She grabbed it up and stuck it in her mouth.
Come on, Lee.
Runned off, and a few minutes later come back, started tugging on Jessica's dress, pulling on her. Jessica looked down at her and said, well, she's bit her tongue. Thought maybe after she realized that candy was lodged right in her throat. I thought she come, she had her, and I grabbed her up, and I tried to do the Heimlich. Of course, she's too little to grab up. I tried to beat her back, her dog, and I tried everything I could. I grabbed my finger, I raped it. I could feel it down in there. I tried my best to get a hold of it, couldn't get it. I said, Lord, she's going to die right here. My mind, I said, well, maybe I can get her down there to the Breckenridge Hospital. I said, it'll be too late. She'll be dead. She'll be dead. And I thought there was a man standing there. They told me later he was maybe EMT or EMS, whatever it is, in the mines. They said he stood over there and cried. He said she's choking, in other words, to death. I thought maybe he could have helped, but he just stood there and cried. They said, that's what they told me. I never seen him. I thought whenever I done all I could do.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I said, Lord, I done what you told me to do.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Still to this day, I can't tell you why I done it. But I leaned down in front of her standing there choking to death. I held my hands out in front of her face. She leaned over and spit it out in my hand. You tell me God can't do things. That day I got an experience with God. I got my first real experience with God. And I know if you do for Him, you listen to His voice and go His way, He'll not fail us. He'll not fail us. I praise Him. I thank Him. I thank Him for the preaching, how good it's been, how good the service has been, how good it seemed like the people's word. It's been a wonderful revival. It ain't been, I guess I should rephrase. Don said it's everybody's revival. I thought maybe Kenny said, you like it? It's close to the house, don't you? I said, yeah, I'm liking it. I just live 2 miles up the road. This has been good for me. Usually we got to drive all the way to Kaywood, you know, Fridays and Sundays. That's an hour, you know, and going and coming. But I thank the Lord how good the revival's been. Got to hear some wonderful preaching. The man's preached phenomenal, I tell you. He's preached phenomenal. It's been wonderful. Somebody else? Thank the Lord for the good service.
how wonderful that he preached, and maybe he said something that stuck with me, and people from Kaywood heard me tell it, but I feel like telling it. He talked about how sin, maybe in my words, will take you farther than you want to go. It will do things to you that you never thought imaginable or possible. And maybe I watched it happen in my family, but I thought maybe it's been a year back. I don't dream a lot, but I thought God gave me a dream one morning. Maybe we was back in our old house. We was living up on Kaywood Hill, and I'll try to be quick, but I thought maybe I was sitting there in our recliner in the living room, and Dad and Matthew, they were in Matthew's bedroom, and I thought maybe I was sitting there enjoying my day, and there come a wolf, and it jumped through the glass, through the window, and I thought it began to circle me, and it was scaring me. I thought, Travis, I thought for sure that thing was going to eat me, and I thought maybe at best I can remember Dad and Matthew might have came in there, they began to, and I thought that wolf, it looked like it was surely going to eat me. I thought maybe that wolf began to start nudging up to me, Hagen, and it wanted me to pet on it. And I thought it began to be nice to me, and I thought in my heart, it might do good for me to pet this thing. It won't eat me, but I thought maybe Matthew come in there and he's lost right now. And I thought he said, let's keep this wolf. It'll be a good pet, in other words. And while he was talking, I had enough time to go to my dad's bedroom, and I got his pistol out of his nightstand. And I thought I'd come back out maybe one more time. I thought I'm going to pet this thing, Doug. And I thought God checked my heart. He said, you can't pet this thing. That wolf, it was surrounding my heart. And I thought I'd put a few bullets in its head. And I thought maybe me and Dad, we got a towel. And we wrapped that wolf up. And maybe I thought, Lord, what do we do with this thing? And you may say, Lord, what do I do with this that maybe the preacher told me to do with? And I thought we wrapped it up in a towel. And we threw it at the front door. And I watched the wind carry that wolf away. And I began to think, God, what does this dream mean in my life? And I got up that morning, I went to pray, and I said, God, what does this mean? And he said, don't pet on sin. You can't pet on it, or it'll be in your life, and it'll stay. It'll stay. I thought you domesticate them pets. They want to come back because they know you got something for them. Are you petting on it? Oh, you pet on it, it'll want you to pet more and more. And it'll take more and more each time. It'll take more and more from me and you. I thought maybe he began to preach, and I hadn't thought about this in years. I was in 5th grade and I wasn't even saved yet, but I'll be short. Maybe I was young and I struggled in math. I could not do it. And we had a math book, and thought every week we had an assignment, and the teacher would tell you the answers and you could grade it yourself. He didn't look at it, I graded it myself. And I thought every week I would lie on a few answers, and just to get a score good enough to pass and maybe keep up with everybody else. And it went on week after week after week. And I lied each week that I said I done better than what I done. And I thought you may can lie a little while, but it'll catch up to you. And I thought maybe it come time for the teacher to get my math book. And I thought sure he'd just take my word and go on with it. But I thought if he got that math book, he begin to check every one of my answers, and God will check everything that you say and everything that you do. I thought every one that I said I got right, he began to mark it off. And maybe best I can remember, when it come my time, Dad's room was right next to my teacher's room. I maybe said, Mr. Stevens, can I go to my dad's room? And I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was in trouble. And I thought I went to my dad's room. There was nobody there. And I began to break down and cry. I thought, Lord, I've done it now. I messed myself up. And I thought I called Mom and I called Dad. I said, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this? They didn't have no way out for me. There ain't no way out but facing it. You got to face it. I thought I got them tears out of my eyes. And I said, Lord, I'm going to go face my punishment. I'm going to get this over with. And I thought I went back to that room the best I can remember. I got in trouble. I got called out. I knew I done wrong. But best I can remember, I told that teacher I won't do this again. He might have told you something. You might have done wrong. I don't know your heart. Face it. Say, Lord, I won't do this again. I won't do it again. I thought you could ask me. I felt this big because I just wanted to keep up with everybody else. He might have said it. Others may not have to do what you have to do, but that God wants you to do. There's a reason why. There's a reason why He asks things of you, because He knows what you need to stand. He
just right, and it cost me a lot of heartache. And I thought it'll cost you more than your MacBook, it'll cost your soul. If you are not very careful. I felt like telling that. Don't bet on sin. Just do it right. I thought we got one chance in this life. Why would you not want to do it right? I've seen people, they cut themselves short. They try to do it the easy way. And in the end, it wasn't worth it. It ain't worth it for me and you to do it our way. To do it God's way.
That's it, brother.
Thank God.
Come on, Rusty. Just a fine wonderful brother.
Somebody else.
I thank the Lord. Being here
Well
tonight
done.
and good preaching and everything. Yeah. What we feel. I love the Lord. I want to please Him. I want to do His will.
Come on, bud.
I want to make Him.
That's it.
Everything.
That's it.
Amen. Good to be in the house of God.
Yes, yes.
That's good, brother.
Somebody else.